So I fully understand how risky it is to do hashtag content ahead of time during 53-man cutdowns, practice squads getting put together, waivers being processed, etc. But Daddy's trying to go to the state fair, right? So it is what it is. So if one of these cut players signs somewhere and before you give it they signed here, cross them off the list then. Most of these guys never had a prime. This guy is dead. Cross him off then. So cut downs are happening. Cuts and players are being put on waivers. Waivers process at 3 p.m. Central Time, which is the only time zone that matters today on Wednesday. So here, 10 cut/waived players that the Vikings need to be interested in. Actually, it's 11 because Tyler Johnson, that's a given, right? Former Golden Gopher, Minneapolis North superstar, never got the time of day with the Bucks. He would be a very good BC Johnson replacement as a Vikings wide receiver 5'6". He would be phenomenal. That one's a no-brainer. Next up, number 10. Quarterback Carson Strong, hard to break. A UDFA out of Nevada, where big-time arm, very limited mobility. A lot of questions about that knee. The Eagles actually gave him a ton of money as UDFA. They let him go. Maybe they bring him back on the practice squad, but I don't know, man. Like, that's why he's low on the list. I understand that the Vikings may be grasping at straws to find a young quarterback that they like. Whatever. Speaking of young quarterbacks, number 9, Dustin Crum for the Chiefs. Now, he's kind of limited in preseason, but UDFA out of Kent State, a guy whose game I liked a lot. Wouldn't have minded if the Vikings spended a 7th-round pick on Dustin Crum versus Nick Muse or Skylar Thompson. Again, it happens. But Dustin Crum, I think, does have some potential. Probably going to sign with the Chiefs practice squad. So the rules are... this is not NOM. There are rules here that if you claim a player off of waivers, you have to put him on your 53. You can't just stash him on your practice squad. But what's interesting is that once the player clears waivers, just because the team cut them loose and initially had their rights, doesn't mean that they get dibs to put them on the practice squad. So the players then have an option. Like they are, well, not essentially, they are a free agent, so they can sign with any practice squad that they want. So that's something interesting. That's how the Vikings got Kyle Jerome, Ezekiel Sluter back in 2017, because they just threw an ass load of money at him after he cleared waivers after he was let go by the Broncos. So there you go. Next up, number 8, center Beau Benschawala. Ooh, nailed it. Former Stupid Badger center. He was a 2-time All-American, and he was one of these interesting cases where he went undrafted. Questionable. What's going on? He's bounced around on 4 different teams since coming into the league as a UDFA in 2019, and it's still a mama I can change him situation. Of course, the Vikings, even though they're okay in terms of center depth behind Bradbury with Chris Reed and Austin Schlutman, you can never have enough dudes who can play center and actually hike the ball. Next up, player number 7, waived player number 7 that the Vikings need to be interested in. Punt returner Davion Davis. Bring back that love and feeling. That's right. Former Vikings UDFA, was an All-American punt returner at Sam Houston State. Now, I'm not talking about bringing him in as a wide receiver. Bringing him in on the practice squad just to return punts, where he's very adept at doing that. Would be open to that. Next up, player number 6. In that same vein, Chad Beebe and Chad Beebe accessories. Now, I understand that his C-Daddy, Gary Kubiak, is gone. I understand that the guy who brought him in initially, Rick Spielman, is gone. So it's a completely different regime. But Beebe, he knows the receivers. He has chemistry with Kirk Cousins. He was a decent punt returner besides that muff against the Panthers. So would you offer him a practice squad spot? Yes. I would certainly consider it. Plus, since he's a vested veteran, he's already a free agent, so he could be brought in at any time. I would bring him in to return punts. So now we get into the juicy juice. Top 5 cut waived players that the Vikings should have interest in. Number 5, quarterback Chris Strebler. That's right. Adding another chapter to the dumbest rivalry in sports history, the Vikings and the Jets. Mr. Preseason, absolutely dominated the 2s and the 3s and the 4s. A bunch of guys who could be working at Home Depot. But Chris Strebler, the former Golden Gopher, transferred to South Dakota State, did the damn thing, was a Grey Cup winner up in the CFL, bounced around the league a little bit, but he's just got it. He's just got a little something. Now, the Vikings... they may have to 53-man roster him, because I don't know if he'd get through waivers the way that he played in preseason and some of the potential that he has. Do I see him as a future starter? No. But a young quarterback that could become a competent backup with a little bit of upside, yes. I certainly think that he could do that. Next up, player number 4 that the Vikings need to have interest in. Wide receiver, punt returner, Tavon Austin. Now, we're just going to pare this thing down to punt returner. Oh, sorry, Strebler. What'd I do? There you go. So formerly of the Buffalo Bills, he's bounced around the league. He came in as a 2013 first rounder by the Rams, the pride of West Virginia. Now, he was supposed to be, this do-it-all, joystick, wide receiver, running back, return guy, but he's basically been limited to special teams. 7.8 yards per punt return average for his career. Now, that has gone down precipitously. He is 32 years old, but in terms of a guy that can secure a punt, yes. Bring him on the practice squad and catch punts. That's what I want right now. Next up, number 3 player that's been cut waived that the Vikings need to have interest in, wide receiver Preston Williams. Now, Preston Williams was teammates back in the day with BC Johnson at Colorado State University. Preston Williams was always seen as that hype guy, 6'5", 220, got some size, got great hands, a decent route runner, and a dude who has some potential in this league. Now, he hasn't really gotten the time of day with the Dolphins. He initially did as a rookie, but 56 career catches, 787 yards, receiving 7 touchdowns, has returned punts at 6'5", 220. Just getting after it, man. But he had been speculation, some trade speculation right before final cuts. The Dolphins decided to let him go. The Vikings, Colorado State swapped out for Colorado State. Come on. Next up, cut/wave player number 2 the Vikings need to have interest in. Wide receiver Lynne Bowden Jr. coming from the Dolphins. Again, Dolphins back-to-back. He was a 2020 third-round pick by the Raiders. He was oddly traded before he even played it down in Las Vegas, traded to the Dolphins. Does have some punt return ability, and when he came out of Kentucky, he was seen as this jack-of-all-trades guy, Blitnikoff Award winner, good receiver, could be used as a running back as well, good returner. I think that this could be one of those mama I can change him spots where he does certainly have potential. He hasn't panned out with the Dolphins. He didn't pan out with the Raiders. But I think that a team is going to take a shot at him. I think a team will pick him up on waivers, and maybe he could develop into a gadget-type player as well as a return man. Lastly, player number 1 that the Vikings need to have interest in, besides Tyler Johnson, that's a given. Tight end O.J. Howard. The juice is loose with the Buffalo Bills. So Howard, a former first-round pick coming out of Alabama. He was the guy that started over Irv Smith at Alabama before Irv took over. So it would just come full circle. Now, Howard is a free agent, so he could sign anywhere right now. So this could be a moot point by the time you're watching this video on Wednesday morning or the year 2027. Again, while you're watching this. But career 119 receptions, 1,737 yards, receiving 15 touchdowns. So I got phased out in Tampa Bay. Cameron Breit, who's splitting reps with, as well as when Gronk came in, that was sort of finito. Signed with the Bills, but then got outshined by some of the young tight ends. And he's always behind Dawson Knox anyway. So O.J. Howard, he's out there. And the Vikings, even though they got Johnny Munt and Ben Ellefson looks to be tight end 3 behind Irv Smith Jr., I would take him. I would certainly take him as the Vikings tight end too. But that's it. That's 10 cut/waived players that the Vikings need to have interest in. And again, we're doing this ahead of time. We're recording this at 12 p.m. on Tuesday. Some of these guys like Howard, Tavon, Austin, Chad Beebe's a free agent, may have already been picked up, whatever. But let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.